In a desert where temperatures rise above 50 degrees Celsius, where the wind carries sand instead of comfort, and where most people wouldn't last a single day, a 93-year-old widow wakes up alone. No air conditioning, no running water, no electricity, just resilience. This is her daily routine. Like the video and subscribe to 50 Celsius Stories for more extreme heat survival stories. Her mud hut stands quietly against the endless desert horizon. The walls are made of dried clay, carefully shaped by hand decades ago. Cracks run across the surface, not from damage, but from time itself. Outside, the land is vast and golden. The air shimmers from the intense heat. Wind moves slowly across the sand, whispering against the hut's rounded edges. There are no neighbors nearby, no paved roads, just open land and silence. And yet, this is home. Before the sun becomes unbearable, she wakes up. There is no alarm clock. Her body rises naturally with the first light of dawn. Inside the hut, it's dim but peaceful. Sunlight slips through a small window opening, casting soft golden lines across the mud floor. She slowly sits up from a simple woven mat placed in the corner. Her blanket is neatly folded, a habit she's kept for decades. Her movements are careful but steady. She begins her morning by whispering a quiet prayer of gratitude. Then she reaches for a small metal cup beside her bed, filled with the last of yesterday's water. One small sip, nothing wasted. Water here is precious. The inside of her hut is simple but organized. Clay shelves are built directly into the wall. On them sit a few metal plates, 2 cooking pots, and a kettle darkened from years of firewood cooking. A handmade straw broom rests near the doorway. A bundle of firewood lies stacked carefully in one corner. There is no excess. Every item has purpose. Every object tells a story of survival. The air inside is slightly cooler than outside. The thick mud walls protect her from the worst of the heat. Before the sun rises higher, she begins her most important task of the day, water collection. She lifts small containers, worn but strong. Step by step, she walks across the sandy ground toward a distant hand pump. The journey is slow. The heat is already building. At 93 years old, every step requires intention. When she reaches the pump, she grips the handle and begins to press down steadily. The metal creaks. After several pushes, water flows. Clear, cool, life-giving. She fills her containers carefully. No spilling, no rushing. This water must last the entire day for drinking, cooking, and cleaning. Then she walks back home under the growing sun. By mid-morning, the desert temperature climbs rapidly. But she has another task to complete: fuel for cooking. She walks slowly around the nearby area, gathering dry branches and fallen twigs. Each piece of wood is inspected. It must be dry enough to burn properly. She ties the bundle together using a thin rope and carries it back. There are no shortcuts here. Every meal begins with effort. Inside the hut, she prepares her cooking space. She arranges stones into a small circle, her traditional stove. The firewood is placed carefully underneath. With practiced hands, she lights the fire. Soon, thin smoke rises through the hut's roof opening. Today's meal is simple: flatbread and lentils. She kneads dough slowly in a metal bowl. Her hands are wrinkled but skilled. When the meal is ready, she eats quietly, seated on the floor. No distractions, no television, just silence and survival. By afternoon, the temperature reaches its peak. Outside, the air feels heavy. Inside the hut, she sweeps the floor gently with her straw broom. Dust collects quickly in the desert. She washes her few utensils using a small amount of water, carefully measured. Nothing is wasted. After cleaning, she rests briefly against the cool mud wall. Even in extreme heat, she remains calm. This life may look difficult, but for her, it is routine. As the sun begins to lower, the desert transforms. The burning gold fades into soft orange. The air becomes bearable again. She steps outside and sits quietly near her hut. Sometimes she watches the horizon. Sometimes she simply listens to the wind. Dinner is light, often leftovers from earlier. She organizes her utensils for the next day, refills her cup, prepares her sleeping mat. When darkness falls, the desert grows silent. There are no streetlights, only stars, brighter than most people have ever seen. She lies down on her woven mat. Another day survived in 50-degree heat. No complaints, no fear, just strength built over 93 years. While the modern world depends on convenience, she depends on discipline. And tomorrow, she will wake up and do it all again. In a world filled with comfort, her story reminds us of something powerful. Resilience doesn't require technology. It requires mindset. If this story inspired you, leave a like and share it with someone who needs a reminder of true strength. Because sometimes, the strongest people live in the quietest places.